LOL, which doesn't mean lots of love, it means laugh out loud. Okay, so sorry, my phone shut out on me because I ran out of room. This is nature of technology. So, which ways do you communicate? When you text your best friend, how do you talk to them versus how do you talk to your mom? When you email me, how do you email me versus how you email a fellow student? All right. When you're talking to your boss, depends on the boss, right? How are you talking to them? So this is ways in which I want you to understand literacy and the ways in which we communicate. And how do we do that? How do you write? When you're writing creatively, do you feel you can be creative and academic? Is that the issue here? What is academic writing to you? Writing perfect, blah, blah, blah. Like maybe that to you is too much. Maybe you need a different way in which you can write and feel comfortable. For some reason, the word academic and writing well freaks you out. What if all I need you to do is write to the best of your abilities? That's the key right there, is understanding who are you as a writer. Okay, when we start talking about your narrative, who are you as a writer? What are all the different ways in which you write? And how are you doing that? Are you doing it through Twitter? Are you doing it through, Instagram comments? Are you commenting on Facebook posts? Are you, in Reddit? Are there ways in which you talk in social media, or just typing, the way you email to your work, or any other way you can think of? How are you doing this, especially when it comes to like text messages? Sometimes we do small stuff. I'm going to show you a video. In fact, okay, it's not a video. I'm sorry. It's a meme. There's a meme, and all it is a bunch of letters. It's just a crap ton of letters. And I want to see if you can figure out what exactly that means. And that's going to be on the next slide. Okay. All right. So take a minute and figure that out. Go ahead, and you're free to email me if you know the answer to it, and I'll be very impressed. A lot of my students usually get it. Some of them get like half of it. Some of it get a little bit. But think about how you're able to read literally just like a line of letters and know exactly what it means. If you gave that to, I don't know why I keep throwing in your parents. I don't know, parents, cousin, uncle, brothers, whatever. Give it to someone else and say, or even a kid, maybe they might not even, well, I wouldn't give it to a kid. Don't give it to a kid. You'll see why. Give this to another adult and say, hey, can you figure out what this means? And it's just going to be a bunch of letters, right? But it has a statement, okay? So she's making a statement. And what is that statement, okay? I personally love it. The first time I saw it, I laughed because I'm like, I can't believe I understood this. It's a shit ton of letters. How do I know what this says? Because I happen to, weirdly enough, be literate in what? Meme speak? Internet talk? I don't know. So anyway, keep that in mind. Last but not least, we have a discussion. Remember, discussions are due on Thursday. Okay, so quizzes Wednesday, discussion Thursday, Friday. I want you to respond to your fellow cohorts, but I want you to be, again, when we're talking about discussions, we're not being opinionated. That's not what we're looking for. We want objective statements. We want to be able to say, oh, okay, and then follow along. Okay, I don't really care necessarily about, all these negative, crazy opinions. We just want to understand who and what it is we're trying to accomplish with our writing. So there are obviously two themes. I say two themes, but they do go together. And I forgot to explain that literacy and understanding ourselves are actually, they go together, right? So as we're starting to understand humanity overall, and that it does change and that things start to develop as we start to understand ourselves more, literacy does the same thing. Literacy starts as like what we thought was a way, but as we get older and as we move along and as technologies and things change, so does our literacy. Just like as we're starting to understand the ways in which human beings are, and how, oh wow, I didn't realize there were other ways to be. Just like literacy, oh, I didn't realize there was other ways to communicate, to be, to understand one another. And they all come together, right? They actually do